Hi, Jason Wishlow. This is the Avalanche conditions report for Whitewater Ski Resort, BackcountrySkiingCanada.com, and State of the Snowpack. It's been a couple weeks since I spoke to you last, and it's been a couple weeks of some pretty dynamic avalanche activity and change that's going through our snowpack. So I wanted to dig a profile today just to highlight some of the layers that have become reactive and are starting to become a lot more prominent in the snowpack here at Whitewater. We're standing here in our weather plot, 1950 meters north aspect, and we've got, if you look down here, about 160 centimeters of snow in the weather plot here. And currently today, avalanche hazard. AvCan was having technical difficulties this morning, so if anybody was looking, believe they're calling it moderate in the alpine, moderate at tree line, and moderate below tree line. Can't confirm again with the technical difficulties. I know here in Whitewater, we've been defaulting to more of a considerable hazard in the alpine and considerable hazard at tree line. And I'm going to give you some of the reasons why we're calling the hazard a little bit elevated. So we spoke last, it was right before the cold snap, and the cold did come, and we set near record temperatures here at Whitewater and over at Kootenay Pass, and that cold persisted for 4 or 5 days. And with temperatures that cold and a snowpack that thin, it creates a lot of heat moving from the ground to the top, which creates facets, larger square crystals in the snowpack that are now becoming a problem. After the cold, we were blessed and received another 50 plus centimeters of storm snow, and that storm snow was sitting on top of a wind slab. That wind slab happened at the end of the cold snap. We got moderate to strong easterly winds up in the bowl, maybe a little bit more limited here at tree line elevations where it's a bit more sheltered, but that wind slab was quite prominent and everywhere. And then the cold continued to really facet out above and below that wind slab. So when it's faceting, it's making the crystals square, and square crystals are like sugar and they don't like to stick together. And just in the last week, whether it's control work with explosives, control work with skis, natural activity, we've been seeing pretty significant reactions. And what we're going to do is we're going to do an extended column test in here. Here's one of our layers of concern that we've been seeing the majority of the reactions on, and it's a layer of these large up to 3 millimeter facets. They're smaller here. I dug yesterday in trash chutes. They were much larger. So we're going to see if we can perform this extended column test and see what kind of reaction we get. So let's have a look. So via the wonders of technology, we've cut a block instantly. And Kyle Gorenko, one of our senior patrollers here at Whitewater, and he's going to perform the test for us. So let's see what kind of result we can get.
All right, so we've got the extended column test here. This is just good for telling us the propensity for propagation through these layers. So compression test makes those layers pop out, and then this gives us a better idea of what the real likelihood of large avalanches occurring is. Okay. Just a couple progressive compressions in the top storm snow, but nothing exciting yet. So going from the elbow. Failure in the storm snow again there. All right, so in the moderate level of the test there, we're seeing a few failures in the storm snow. We call those ECTN results because it didn't propagate across the column. So not of great concern for us yet, but very similar to what we saw in the compression test there.
There it goes.
There it was. That was our failure on the surface facet sitting on top of that old wind blow surface there. And it did run a ways past the shovel. You can see it stopped right here, but it didn't continue all the way through the column. So we would still call that an ECTN. That was like the 16th to 18th loading step there.
Below this layer, you can see another layer that was formed the end of December, early January. That layer was a crust, maybe with some surface hoar associated with it. And that layer now is down 90 centimeters. And below that is our December 6th layer, which is basically a crust facet complex to ground now. You can see when I was talking about sugary snow and facets, you can see with the naked eye there even how large those facets are. So these layers here and here, still very much on our radar at Whitewater. We've had very sporadic results to testing on them. I don't know how many significant avalanche events we've seen. Maybe when the wind came in, those east winds I was talking about, we did see a avalanche cycle to size 2.5 in Weimer Bowl. Hard to confirm. We never got to travel there, but suspect that it may have failed there. Neighboring operations, this layer is starting to wake up. Kootenay Pass, they're calling it a layer of concern for sure. They had a remote avalanche they suspect was triggered on this layer yesterday to size 2. Remote, again, very, very significant result because you're not even close to the slope, which just shows how reactive that layer can be, how touchy it is. This layer, still on the radar, not seeing a lot of avalanches on it, but possible results to testing still showing up, and we're definitely monitoring that, especially with the recent faceting. So I want people to be aware, in particular right now at Whitewater, we're seeing numerous skier accidental, again, skier triggered avalanches. Doesn't take a heavy load to trigger this layer, and it's going up to 40 to 60 centimeters deep to size 2. So those are very, very significant avalanches. And again, the concern comes that if this layer is triggered as load builds here, we may be able to initiate that layer, which is now down almost a meter, and the avalanche size and destructive potential increases significantly, and it's not something you want to be messing around with. So watch for this new storm slab sitting on top of these facets, and really use wise terrain choices as you're traveling. Again, follow your daily process, follow Avalanche Canada, and really pay attention to what these layers are doing in the snowpack. It might take a little while for this slab to settle out and before we can get into steeper, more aggressive terrain. Weather coming up. Kind of continued light snowfall through till Monday. Forecasts now are showing rising freezing levels with varying levels of precipitation. So we're looking at up to 2,500 meter freezing levels, which is beyond the elevation of Weimer Peak. So the wild season we're having is going to continue, and that's going to continue to have effect on our snowpack and the kinds of avalanches that are being produced as load increases on these lower layers. So I want everybody to play safe. Again, follow AvCan. Make sure you dive into those details of what the problems are and where they are. And everybody stay safe, and we'll talk to you again soon.